This is Tom Doody, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Doody in a Google search for my site. From Vanity Fair. October 19th. By Abigail Tracy. The inglorious end of Christie. As Christie's career path goes up in smoke, the New Jersey governor is finally distancing himself from Trump. Is it too little, too late? After dropping out of the Republican primary, Christie emerged as one of Donald Trump's most vocal and arguably most effective surrogates. But the unusual bromance between the New Jersey governor and the New York real estate mogul has come at a steep political cost to Christie. Now, despite months of loyalty to the man he reportedly calls Mr. Trump, Christie appears to be fading into the background as the Trump campaign sinks under a wave of sexual harassment allegations, just as new developments in the Bridgegate scandal threaten to down Christie's own political legacy back home. With Christie's gubernatorial approval rating hitting a new low, it's looking increasingly clear that hitching his Beltway ambitions to Trump's star was a career-ending mistake. In recent weeks, Christie has struggled to defend his former rival after Trump's hot mic scandal first broke weeks ago. Christie characterized the Republican nominee's remarks as indefensible. He pulled out of a scheduled CNN appearance the day after the recording first surfaced and was conspicuously absent from the second presidential debate. On Monday, when asked if he was proud of the Trump campaign, the governor demurred. For me, the person who needs most to be concerned about that kind of campaign they are running is the candidate. Because it's the candidate's campaign, Christie told NBC. It's not my campaign. It's not Jeff Sessions' campaign. It's not Rudy Giuliani's campaign. We are surrogates. And I'm proud of everything I've said. That's all I can control. The rest of it I can't control. It was a telling admission of defeat after months of fervently defending any number of Trump's indefensible political blunders on the campaign trail. As the head of Trump's White House transition team, a consolidation prize and perhaps a stepping stone to a cabinet position after Trump passed over him for vice president, Christie has as much invested as anybody to getting Trump across the finish line. Yet, as the Washington Post reported Wednesday, Christie has effectively delegated his responsibility to Rich Bagger, his former chief of staff, who is at the center of the potentially ill-fated effort to assemble a viable Trump administration. Christie, after all, has his own problems to deal with. Earlier this month, the prosecutor's star witness and former Christie ally, David Wildstein, testified in the ongoing Bridgegate case that the governor was not only aware of the 2013 scheme to engineer a politically motivated traffic jam on the George Washington Bridge, but he laughed about it and allegedly colluded with New York Governor Andrew Cuomo to cover up his involvement. Last week, A New Jersey judge issued a criminal complaint against Christie after ruling that there was probable cause to launch a criminal investigation into his role in the lane closure scandal. Christie has maintained he has no knowledge of the lane realignment either before they happened or while they were happening, according to the spokesperson. Bridgegate isn't the only reason that Christie's political stock is tanking. New Jersey voters were peeved when he abandoned the state to campaign for president, putting his national ambitions ahead of the state's interests. A 2015 survey of conservative New Jersey voters found that only 1% supported his decision to run. Only 5% supported his decision to run. Christie's fortunes sank further when he didn't return to the Garden State after ending his bid, instead becoming a Trump surrogate and advisor to Trump, as if deliberately solidifying his unpopularity. Last week, Christie signed a bill increasing the gas tax 23%, the first gas tax increase since 1988. According to a poll released Wednesday, Christie's approval rating has sunk 21%, down from 26 in July, or to put it another way, a whopping 4 points, a whopping 4 out of every 5 people in New Jersey disapprove of the Republican governor. As Hillary Clinton leads in the polls, a Trump presidency is looking increasingly unlikely. And Christie's, once the tough-talking, forthright face of moderate republicanism and a rising star within the party, is already collateral damage. Within a year and a half remaining in his term, the New Jersey governor, the best thing Christie can do right now is focus on salvaging his gubernatorial legacy, cutting ties with one of the most controversial and polarizing presidential candidates in modern history. Seems like a good place to start. This has been Tom Doody, middle-aged American, living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Doody in a Google search for my site. I'm going to tag on a rereading of I'm going to reread a paragraph, a few sentences of this. So anyways, the rest of this audio, I will do nothing new. I just thought this very fresh. Yet, as the Washington Post reported Wednesday, Christie had effectively delegated his responsibility to Rich Bagger, former chief of staff who is at the center of a potentially ill-fated effort to assemble a viable Trump administration. Christie, after all, has his own problems to deal with. Earlier this month, the prosecutor's star witness and former Christie ally, David Wildstein, testified in an ongoing Bridgegate case that the governor was not only aware of the 213 scheme, he engineered a politically motivating traffic jam on the George Washington Bridge. In addition to that, Christie laughed about it. I reread that because it's very fresh news. I'm a New Jersey resident, I'm following Bridgegate, and Christie is not being tried, but it looks like he will be. This has been Tom Doody. I already did that. Good night. Ciao.